Hey guys, so today we're doing a general collective reading. Guides, will you please, as in my guides, will you please work as gatekeepers for other energy, as I will channel specifically you. Channeling Chris as well. Work with the guides since technically you are a guide. Thank you. Sage, give up. Thank you. Please channel them. Allow me to have precise, accurate messages that come through. I give back. Thank you so much. Let's get started. What messages do you have today? So thank you. So hi, how you guys been? It's been a while, and so here is a general collective reading. So we have a couple decks. So like wrinkly, I'm gonna have to iron this. So we have our trusted message deck. We have a new deck, which is the Missoula. Oh my God, Missoula. Mausolea, Oracle of Souls. This is just basically going to give me like more insights to what is going on in your soul wise, what you're learning, what you're not learning. So let's get started. Gatekeepers, guides, what messages do you have? What are we looking at today? What is the general collective energy? What is the general collective energy today? Well, what's going on? What is going on for the collective generals? What is the collective energy? What is the collective energy? So there is 4 cards, but 2 fell specifically, so they're not ready to be touched on yet. So let's get started. So we have some of you that are coming out of the cycle that is going on, and I'm talking with my hands. So we have like this collaboration that's starting to come out. So people are starting to come out of this like isolation, not like hermit mode, but you're basically like, you learn so much from yourself. So I'm really seeing like a little bit of shadow, like people doing a little bit of shadow work. So you're starting to come out of these like lessons that you learned, these cycles that you learned, so you can help others. And I'm really seeing like a collaborative effort, meaning that like y'all are talking more. So there's interchanging of these ideas that you've learned through, you know, this isolation, and you're talking about it and you're just seeing what is going on. But I'm seeing messages passed back and forth just to people in general. It doesn't even have to be to your friend group or whatnot. This is just in general. So then we have the Queen of Cups. So yeah, you're exchanging these emotions, these ideas, these ways to ground yourself. And not ground, but basically remove this energy, and you're basically taking trips here, and you're firing, and these people are basically giving one idea, and then boom, here's a door that opens, you open this, and then there's another. So it's like, I'm seeing portal energy through this emotion, this coming out is what I'm seeing. So yeah, there is a coming out of an emotional period, a very tiring and like period of your life where this just no longer serves you. So you just get out, and like, you have all these like people willing to support you, you know what I mean? So I'm seeing that like with this coming out story, and I'm not saying like coming out in a negative way or a positive way, but you're coming out of yourself, out of these cycles. So like your friend group, your soul group, like soul, you know, family, they're starting to like support you. And I see a couple people that are writing like on the internet, that they're like describing their struggles in like creative means of ways, you know what I mean? Like they're just doing it. And so this is helping other people. So with the Chariot, I'm seeing that there is like an energy that is just like straight propelled first forward. So you see, like with this creative means that you're doing coming out of this, that it's just like go, 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 go. And some of you are just like, I gotta do this. I gotta get this done. I gotta, you know. So it's like, I'm really hearing, I gotta do this. Like, you know, and I'm not saying you get to your to-do list or whatever. You just have a strong, like, feeling that's propelling you forward to do things that you would never do before. So I see, like, people are leaving their comfort zone. So yeah, with the Hanged Man, some of you are kind of, like, stagnated. And some of you kind of feel like you're coming up in the world, but it's not fast enough. So you just feel like you're just hung up on something. And emotionally, that would make sense with the Queen of Cups and then the Knight of Cups coming in. So this is saying like you were hung up on something for so long that this stagnancy that you were hung up with, or maybe this person, this emotion, whatever, like you're finally coming out of it. So this is saying don't be afraid to release this toxic toxin in your body or like your energy or something, and to remove it. So then we have the World. So some of you are just like, you're seeing things that are happening on the world and you'll be like, how can I make a difference? How can I make this change? How can I make it positive? And some of you, I'm hearing, is like, don't worry about it. Change yourself. Change the way you view things, because you trying to change the world is only delaying your change that's already inside. So this is saying like, don't be afraid to do this, but this is saying don't take shortcuts. Don't like make a delay, you know, because some of you feel like there's like a blocked wall here, or like I'm seeing like a bank vault. Thanks, Chris. I'm seeing like a bank vault, and I'm seeing like someone like go like this. So if you've seen the movie Takers or any ice movie or something, no, I'm saying the bank job. So like, you know, when they're like in there and they're like going through and they're figuring this out, and then fast forward to like Fast 5 when they were like practicing on the volts, and they're like, okay, this is what we need, this is how we're gonna get it done, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm seeing that. So this is saying it's a process. So don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. And I see this like specifically, and like the fact that 3 cards just pulled themselves like right out, you know, major arcana cards. So these are major shifts. So this is saying like, don't be afraid to get your hands dirty and don't take a shortcut, because wrong things happen when you take shortcuts. So let's see what these like processes that we're dealing with. And I know you saw the Lover card reversed. So this is saying be very kind to yourself, because some of you are just like, here, you know, and it's saying, I can't make this up. You have the Hangman reverse, you have the World reverse, the Chariot upright, the Lovers reverse, and now the Fool. So this is saying like some of you just got like played out, and this energy is so freaking played out that you're over it. You're over these people. You're over like these things that are just not happening. You know what I mean? And you're tired of this stagnancy. So you're just like getting rid of things and using this collaboration out there so you can help people while like helping yourself. And this is saying you're doing the damn thing is what I'm literally hearing. I see some of you that are like, hey, you know, and I'm literally seeing that. It's like, hey. So like some of you, like your guides, and they're like personal cheerleaders, because that's all I'm seeing is like, hey. You know, there is a celebration, there is a collaboration in like process that is going on, and to doing all this that is going on. So there is like some of you, and put this down. So then I heard another thing. So some of you that are like going through this like change, some of you just don't want this change because you're like afraid of it. But this is saying fret not, because there is something in the works that are so much greater that they need you to be on board with this. So it's like, don't be resistant to it. Don't be resistant to this change, and don't let your emotions like all over the place. And so so if you hear the background music, I just want to say I don't own the rights to this music. My neighbors up the street, like, they're all Hispanic, and they're like out there in the middle of the street just dancing, him and his wife. So yeah, they're just having fun. And so this is what we're used to always like seeing. So they're pretty cool people, like known them our entire life basically since like moved here. And yeah, they look out. So it's cute to see them like just bring back this like love, you know? It's funny. They have a very funny dynamic. So yeah, some of you are just, you're in hermit mode. You're like quiet, you're reserved, you're thinking, you're doing this. And this is saying like, because of this like major shift, a lot of you are starting to really unlock parts of your shadow self. So with this hermit mode, your shadow self is really coming in. So this is saying don't be too harsh on yourself with what you see. And I'm seeing like one of my guides talking to one of your guides. And so if you have a guide named Marty, Maddie, whatever, it's like on that line. So I'm hearing them talk, and I'm just like seeing someone being like, okay, like spit it out now, like, you know, you just get to the cards, like, so we can speak. Like, we can't speak until you say this. So the hermit mode, you're in it, the shadow is coming out. So a lot of you are like reconnecting with like deeper parts of yourself that have been activated or will be activated in the next like coming like couple weeks. So like be prepared for that, because it's hard and you will see things about yourself that you have to just accept. You have to surrender to that. And I'm not saying don't get like too involved with yourself, but this is really saying give yourself good amounts of love and basically have a good support system and just drive to get it done. I know it's really hard, but believe me, it's so worth it, because there's just things about you that you will learn that never made sense or make sense when you go through it. So we have the King of Swords. The Ten of Swords, and the Ace of Swords reversed. So with these cards specifically, some of you are releasing just an old cycle that just kept repeating and repeating, and it was so taxing on yourself. And with the Ten of Swords, I want someone to know, I'm seeing with the Ten of Swords, there is an individual, and I don't mean to pry if this has actually happened for one of you. One of you are going to have to basically confront one of your worst fears and your worst episodes that has ever triggered you. And I'm getting someone being like pinned down against like a concrete building, like a concrete wall, and someone has like been saying no, fighting back. And so this is going to trigger that PTSD. And this is saying this needs to happen, not because it's like spirits being a jerk, you know, and whatnot, but it's going to trigger a lot of emotions and a lot of fear in this fight or flight. So you're really having to step out of your comfort zone and just be like, I can't hold this in anymore. Like, I gotta get help. I gotta heal this. I gotta move on. Like, one of you or some of you, you're just like, you're fighting this, and you've been like trying to stay afloat for so many years because of this. And it's just like, give yourself ample time, because I'm saying some of you have gone to therapy for this, or you've tried talking to people, and it's like it falls on deaf ears. So yeah, I'm really seeing like there is something in this like round of shadow work for the collective that it's gonna trigger things in us that it never prepares us for, but it's knowing that we are never alone. And this is saying like because I have the Three of Pentacles and the Four of Cups sitting beside each other. As you can see, you can't really see, it's upside down. sitting beside each other. And that told me that someone is going to come into your life. And I'm not saying it's a lover, it's a friend, whatever, a child, a mother, whatever. Your soul family is going to come in regardless if it's in the physical or it's astrally. And it's going to set in motion something that just flips the switch and you're no longer in the dark. And I will ask that later, what that will come out, what will trigger. We have the Page of Pentacles, and this is saying some of you just feel really stuck, like you don't know where to go, or you feel like you've done this so many times that you can never get to the surface or below the surface. So it's like that. It was just never the right time. And so I'm seeing someone. Okay, let's talk about the movie Apocalypse. So you know how they have the guy or whatever, the kid, when he goes on his first raid, he gets hit and his eye is swollen, so his father takes this like flint knife and like cuts here and here to basically reduce the swelling. This individual or something, because it was not the right time to release this memory, this something that it was regressed for so long and held back, this like cut is going to open to allow this clarity, to this healing to set in. So this is saying like cuts are going to be made, and don't think it's for the wrong reason, because it's not. It's like it has to be done. This has to come to the surface. You have so much like building that it's just like you're going to lose an eye if you didn't. You know what I mean? It's necessary. So you feel like the world is just against you, and you're like, I can't do this. I can't do this. It's given me this. And it's like, universe, how can you do this to me? Like, I'm not ready. And this is saying, you're ready. You are so ready. Like, you know, you may think it's wrong to do this and to be like, I'm not prepared for this. This is saying your anxiety and your fear is getting to you because you've been ready for a long time. And it's just like, you have to brace it. You have to grow. You cannot be stuck in the same cycle. And I'm seeing someone like fighting. Weirdly enough, I'm seeing Lord of the Rings, when they like, how did the orcs come about? And they were like elves, right? That were like, you know, dark magic was used to create them, you know? So they're in this stack and like they're being like dug out of the ground, this mud and muck or whatever. And then they like cut it open, and then boom, there's these orcs, you know? So this is saying like you are ready for this. Like you're freeing yourself from this like cocoon that you've created, and it's time to come out. I can't make this up. So this is saying stop fighting it. Just, I know it's daunting. It's miserable. But believe me, you will get through it. I'm literally seeing someone like hug you. Yeah, I'm seeing a hug. I'm seeing a hug and like naked vulnerability. So I'm seeing someone like take a sledgehammer and just start like whacking away. And then they pick up this jackhammer and they're just like jackhammering through this concrete wall, like this bank vault. They're drilling through it. They got to get to, like, you've been in prison in this vault for too long. They got to set you free. So you're just like a lone wolf right now with this hermit mode and this 3 of Cups, and this is saying that you're like, I'm not ready to embrace this, I'm not ready to come out. And it's just like, no, that's your ego and your hurt telling you, because when matters get illuminated with the sun, this is saying like you got to live your best life. You cannot be cocooned in this anymore, this hurt, because it traps you and it keeps you stagnant, because there's so much more that the world and the universe is trying to give you in your life. But it's not like, for whatever reason, you're not coming out, you know what I mean? It's just like, I built these walls and you've imprisoned yourself, and you'd be like, oh, this is my safe haven. No, this is your prison. So the Queen of Wands is saying, look to the sun, like, look to the solar healing, look to the energy, and just, there's so much more on the below the surface of this iceberg. It's so massive, and once you get through and you're just feeling like, I can't bottle this up anymore, I can't deal with this, you gotta come out. You know, your intuition is saying, babe, we're ready to do this. You're not ready. You know, ego saying you're not ready, but you are. Like, let's get this done. Like, I will literally keep you tethered to the sun. Like, don't live in this anymore. Like, come out, please. And I'm seeing someone literally like screaming at a door and like trying to get someone to come out, and it's just like, I'm doing this out of love, you know? And someone is like, okay, you know, F it. Like, I'm kicking the door in. And I'm literally seeing someone like kick the door in like SWAT style. I'm not joking. The star, you know, and some of you just have high hopes and dreams for yourself, and some of you just feel so crushed. And this is saying like, you have so much more to offer. Don't ever think that your pond is one thing. Like, you're only growing to what your pond is, you know, allowing you to. And it's just like, it's being invaded by other species and you're dying out. So it's time to find, you know, this new foundation, this happiness, this establishment for you, like, to find your newness. And this is saying like, you can have everything up under the rainbow, like gratitude and joy and happiness. And this is saying like, when you like leave this comfort zone, this comfort nest that you have like cocooned yourself in, that's like illusion and it's false, this is waiting for you, you know? Like, I literally see someone telling my guides, like, here's a box, and my guides are opening it, and to be like, yes, like, she's been waiting for this for so long, like, yes. And I'm saying she. So this is more divine feminine that I'm getting. I'm getting more divine feminine. So a lot of you are more connecting with the divine feminine and allowing these emotional hurts that have hurt your divine feminine for so long. And the divine masculine has just like wrapped itself around, you know, energy wise, and like projected out and cocoon this. So like, yeah. So we have the King of Pentacles, and this is saying like, your established foundation is, it's overgrown is what I'm hearing. It's overgrown, it's weeded out, and it's not been taken care of, and it's just time to abandon, you know? I'm literally seeing someone like closing a door on this chapter, this garden, or this like foundation, and to be like, I had hopes and I had dreams to make this like my place, but it wasn't right. And now it's like, I'm okay, like I'm changing and I'm transitioning. And with the Fool, it's like, I don't feel this way anymore, and it's closing the door and like throwing the keys to the wind and getting in this like drop top Corvette, you know, and just driving away into the sunset. And that's literally what I'm seeing. And so this is saying, celebrate your awakeness, celebrate your newness, celebrate yourself now, because if you can't celebrate you, who's going to celebrate you? You can't just keep relying on, and this is what you're feeling, is like, you can't keep relying on other people to make you happy. You have to make yourself happy. You have to make yourself heal. Like, people can be there for you, but if you're not healing yourself and you're enabling yourself through other people, like, you're coping on them, and that's not okay. So we have the Wheel of Fortune. So it's like, change is inevitable. So like, stop fighting it. You have the good, I'm literally hearing, good winds make sail. It's time to set off, like cast off the mooring lines. Some of you are just like, I can't do this. And your negative self-talk is just like eating at you. And they're like, I can't do this. And it's like, yes, you can. So it's like, you're walking away and you feel like discouraged, or you feel like, man, I had hopes. And it's just like, you know what? Like, how do I channel my disappointment into something? And how do I, like, better protect myself so I don't get disappointed? Like, how can I set boundaries? You know what I mean? And it's just like, I got here, you know what I mean? Like, I got here. So this is saying, stop seeing things in a negative way and say, you know what? Like, this wasn't meant for me. So, like, what could have happened that I haven't seen already, that it could have been worse if I keep holding on? Like, what could happen? Like, could my health deteriorate? Could, you know, it cause, you know, and reverberate back to my children, or, you know, to my partner, to my family, you know what I mean? So what's to say if you held on to this foundation and you created a child, you know, in this foundation, right, with this family, and, like, you know, there's so much negativity, this imprint that's already established, and it goes on to your children, and your children are projected into this, and then they project onto other people, and it just continues a cycle. So I'm seeing, like, especially with this, it's like cutting this old cycle and, you know, allowing a new change, a newness to come. So it's like, walk away. Just walk away and be thankful that something didn't happen, because something worse could actually establish itself if you don't walk away from this imprint and just, like, let it go. I know it's super hard and it's super disappointing when you know that you've wanted something for so long and it just doesn't happen the way you've always wanted to, you know what I mean? And so, like, that inner child, you know what I mean, is saying, like, hey, like, it's okay. Like, come here, let me hug you. Like, it's okay. Like, you'll do better. Like, we'll do better. So it's like some of you are just, like, disconnected from reality, and you're just, like, all up in, you know, the stars and the moon, and, you know, you're in this deception, and you're, like, doubting yourself. And it's like, you know, this negativity is just creeped in, and you're just negative self-talk, and, you know, you're listening to other people, and, you know, it's like you're listening to the wrong people, because you're not listening to yourself. You're not listening to your intuition. You're not listening. You're not attuning your rabbit ears and, you know, attuning yourself to the higher of yourself and doing that. And another thing is, like, some of you who are channeling, like, your guides, make sure that when you accurately close this channel, that you actually are in good company, for the reasons, for boundaries, because a lot of things can happen. A lot of souls, because I'm saying, like, I've done this before where I thought, like, I talked to my guides and it was, like, completely different, until I was like, okay, there's something, like, subtle hints, you know. But, like, when I was channeling, I was ignoring these hints, these flags. And so it wasn't until, like, oh my God, like, I did that. And so, like, energy gets exchanged between you. So you implant and imprint their energy into your energy field. And it's just like, I recently had to go through, like, deep cellular crystal, like, cleaning. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it literally was, like, brain surgery and, like, skull surgery, where it's like, here's a drill. Like, we're going to remove your brain. We're going to clean it full of rot and mold. And, you know, they were, like, telling me, like, oh, you have so much, you know, calcification with this bone. So, like, we need to, like, open you up and get you back to the, you know, the crystal state. And when they did that, you know, my guides and, you know, Chris, and I'm not talking my mom, like, one of my guides' names is Chris, was, like, doing this and chipping away and talking and whatever. And, like, I was such at peace for, like, 2 days. Like, no, I wasn't even thinking. Like, I was just happy. You know what I mean? There was just so much energy, and it literally was like, you know, and I was at just peace and just, like, 0 point. And I was just like, I'm so mellow and so chill. And it literally felt like I hit, like, 3, like, you know, at that, or, you know, I had a CBD roll, and bruh, I was just like, I was so out of my head, you know. There was no self-talk, no nothing, and it's just, like, cocooned in this white crystal light, and it was just like, it felt like I ascended. It literally felt like that. And so this is saying some of you are just built so much, like, for your inner intuition to come out and tell me, like, some of you are self-doubting, that you just built walls to keep it out, because some of you just don't want to deal with it, to be like, oh no, like, this is not true, blah blah blah, and you're like, whatever. So, like, what you've been through in this disappointment, you just don't want to hear yourself, you know what I mean? You don't want to hear your guides, because they'll be like, well, I'm seeing someone be like, I don't want to hear I told you so. And it's like, we're not telling you, we told you so. We're like trying to help you, but you're like so stuck in yourself right now that, you know, that's all you think. You know, we're just like here to love you, you know, we're here to guide you, we're the eyes in the sky for you. So like, you're just like, don't be manipulated, you know, don't be manipulative, don't manipulate is what I get off of that. And it's like, you have so much choices and you feel so overwhelmed, and it's like, which one do I pick? And someone is like in there and be like, well, don't pick anything. Like, you can come back and like the right cup will present itself. Like, you don't actually have to pick. Like, these choices will disappear. You know what I mean? Like, when you use your intuition, you'll just know, you know, to be like, hey, like, this is the path. So it's like you're presented with different things on the table to be like, oh, which one looks good? Like, which one's poison? Which one's this? You know what I mean? And this is saying remove yourself from that thought, because it's like your intuition will let you instinctively just pick. So yeah, you have internal conflict. You're just so conflicted with yourself, and you know, to be like, is this trustworthy? Are these people trustworthy? Am I trustworthy? So it's just like, you just have conflict. And this is saying, instead of, you know, conflicting with others and conflicting with yourself, why aren't you collaborating? Like, why are you being one-sided? Some of you are just like, give, and like, I want to receive and I'm not going to give back, you know? So this is saying there's just like a one-sidedness that is just like constantly like, I need this. And it's like, no, you don't. Like, so yeah, like with this, like, I need this. Like, I'm hearing, I need this. Like a child throwing, you know, a tantrum in the, like, the candy aisle to be like, I need this. And the parents like walking away, you know, it's just like they're embarrassed. So this is saying like, remove yourself from temptation, remove yourself from the people and the toxic energy, and just clean out your aura field, clean out your shadow, clean out your mind. And just like, some of you are just like so deep in it that you're just like, I'm loving this. And you're like, no. Because I'm seeing like someone's like, oh, you know, like someone being paraded on a leash, you know, like through the city streets. And you're like, I like this attention. In reality, it makes you feel so ashamed. And like the entire time, like this could like be removed and you could run away. You know what I mean? Like, so there's coping mechanisms and enabling going on. And some of you are just like so deep in it that like, this is all you know, that pessimistic like mind. And that's all you know is like, you're becoming your own worst like idea, own thought. You know what I mean? You're birthing this like negative creation. You're just becoming it. So it's like, what are they with this negative moment, how like deep they are in it and they're like not realizing it? Like, what can they do to get out of this? What can they do to get out of this? Positive results meet positive, you know, ideas. So this is like, there is personal transitions to like stop resisting it. So it's like, it's not wishful thinking, you know what I mean? Like, you actually got to get out and you got to go into the trenches and you got to like, you know what I mean? You're at war with yourself. So this is saying like, instead of being at war with yourself, be at peace with yourself. You know what I mean? Find things that make you feel like you're at peace, because it's like, you have these thoughts, this inner tuition is like coming out. And this is saying like, let this inner intuition come out, because, and like, stop building boundaries and walls around it, because it is trustworthy. And this is saying like, this, like, when you stop doubting yourself, like, you will actually like get the ball rolling. So like the Page of Wands is like new thoughts, new boundaries, new creative ventures, you know what I mean? So there's like creative thoughts when this tuition like hits, that you just unleash. And I'm seeing like someone just like open like a French door, a sliding glass door, and they'll be like, you know what I mean? Like come in, you know? And this person's like hesitant, you know, to be like, you're a stranger, I don't know you. And they're saying, no, we've been waiting for you for a really long time. Like, please come in. Like, we want to introduce yourself. You know what I mean? Like, we want you. Like, you know, this is the only way we can think of. But here, you know, come be at peace with us. And so this, like, Page of Wands, and I'm really seeing like doors opening, you know what I mean? Like new thoughts creating with the Ace of Wands in these pages, like a new door is opening. So this is saying like whatever has harmed you, like just know like it's not going to be forever. So you're like out of balance. So we have the Knight of Wands, and this is saying like no one can come save you. You have to save yourself. And that's literally what I'm saying is like no one can save you. You have to save yourself. So like don't be afraid to do this. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Like roll up your sleeves and just like put on, these clothes that you can get dirty in and just do it, So we have the Knight of Swords, and this is saying like you can be brave and you can be chivalrous, but it's like don't be a coward. Like don't basically extend, this charade if you don't feel like that in that. So I'm seeing like someone wears a smile and deep down they're so depressed and they're just like, I don't want to bother people. And this is saying stop, just stop. Like, be who you are. Be your authentic self, because you keep lying. You're putting up a fence. And this is saying you got to get out of your head and you got to experience life and you got to live it for like your true self. You have to live your true self. So it's like, get out there. Like, and I'm literally seeing someone just like get pushed. You know what I mean? Like you're stumbling to be like, oh shit, I'm going to fall. And it's like, no, like, so like someone's pushing you and you're like stumbling and you'll be like, oh, I'm gonna fall. And then someone's like this, like, I got you. You know what I mean? Like, so you have like two individuals that's like one's pushing and the other's like, I got you, like fall into me, like surrender to me, I got you. So the Page of Cups is like, woo, I'm seeing like a young, like, a new lease on life. That's what I'm saying is a new lease on life. So this is saying don't be overly committed. Don't be like overly joyous, because things are just gonna suck, man. They're gonna suck until they get better. And that's really bad. So like don't overcommit yourself. Don't overexhaust yourself. Like take time for yourself. So this is saying like things will come to you when they come to you. You just can't push, you know what I mean? Like you can't manipulate, especially with the Emperor that came out, and this is like manipulation and just like total domineering. And this is saying you got to ease up and you got to surrender both parts of you, So this is saying like don't let anxiety and insomnia keep you up at night. Like don't let these people like bust you, and to be like, oh my God, like, what do I have to do tomorrow? Like, this person's coming here, like, I gotta go to work and I gotta deal with these people, like, this is saying, like, you're gonna recover, so it's just, like, let all these, like, thoughts and surrender them to the universe and be like, I don't want this anymore, please take it, please give me something. You know what I mean? And it's like, if you surrender, you got to do the work too. You can't just be half-assed, like, because it's going to slap you in the face. And trust me, I know firsthand experience, because I tried to resist for so long and be like, I don't want this anymore. But I was still clinging to it. And it was just like, I was making it worse. And it's just like constantly slapping in the face. And I was like, I'm done. Like, take it. Like, I'm serious. Take it. And it started getting better. And I started getting happy again. I didn't feel depressed. I didn't want to just like, why am I so pissed off at the world? Like, why am I so pissed off at people? Like, why am I pissed off at myself? And that's when, like, the layers that I just constantly was trying to work at and to get at for shadow work was just, like, in my face. They were like, you were doing this entire time, but you were resisting, so you couldn't get into it. So it's like some of you just feel like it's not happening fast enough, and this is saying there's a point in your life where you just got to pause and just live in the moment, you know what I mean? And this is saying, like, there's just newness coming in, where it would be upright would say, like, there is newness, but there is not bad news, but it's just, like, it's neutral, you know what I mean? Some of you could, for instance, some of you could just, like, lose a job, or you would feel like, oh, you're getting evicted from your apartment, and you're, like, trying to move for a while, and you're just like, I can't pay this anymore. And this is saying, like, new opportunities in these doors, like, because they're closing on you or closing around you, like, they're meant to close, and don't feel like, now what am I going to do? You know what I mean? This is saying keep an open mind with, the Nine of Cups. It's like, just be thankful that these doors, because it's like, what could have happened if I stayed there? Could there have been, like, increase in rent? Like, would I miss out on my dream home? Like, what? So this news, what is it? This news, what is it? something that you've wanted for so long with like the closing of these doors, like whether it be health, a new job, a new car, new material, new spiritual outlook, something in this door is just gonna open. It's gonna manifest for you. And I'm seeing some of you just like you have a master. You're balanced. You know what I mean? Like this new opportunity for you is just coming in, and it's something that you wanted for a really long time. And this is saying, don't be afraid to let go. You know, to get rid of things that no longer serve you, whether it's material goods, you know, take them to the DI, or, you know, go, you know, have a yard sale or something. So this is saying, like, even a person, someone who has dealt with someone for so long, like this phase that they just keep coming in and they just work your patience and you just have none anymore, and you're just like, I can't. Like, it's done. You know, I surrender this. So some of you are just going to get out of like this relationship or this marriage and to be like, I'm done. I don't want this anymore. I'm letting go. I'm healing. And this is going to trigger something in you that you have felt for a really long time. So I'm seeing more emotional stability. I'm seeing more financial stability. These cycles ending and a new cycle coming. So like you're mastering your emotions. But this is also saying, like, once you leave the cycle, some of you that have been dealing with this individual, like, in your past, that was just, like, constantly coming back in, like, playing, you know, leapfrog, you know, I want you when I want you, and you're going to wait for me, or you're going to do this, and, you know, super manipulative, and just, it threw you off, you know, and just dragging you down. This new cycle coming in for some of you is, like, and I'm really hearing it's like, don't let your girlfriend or your boyfriend distract you from your future spouse, like the person that you build with. You know what I mean? That's going to come in and just like blow everything out the water. And I'm hearing battleship. Like, yes, one of you or a couple, whatever couples, they're sitting by a fire and they're like playing battleship. And I'm seeing like this battleship, and like one of you is going like this to be like, okay, like, let's use strategy. And some of you are just, like, strategizing, you know? So you're out of balance, and this, like, person is, like, you know, newness or whatever. They're going to bring you balance. They're going to bring you harmony. So, like, you're out of disalignment with your soul. And this is saying, like, this person is going to, like, spiritually trigger this, like, you know, but you have to be able to, like, understand your shadow. And this is saying they're going to give you, like, utmost compassion and love and friendship, that it heals you while you heal this. And they're saying, like, let go of the cycles, let go of the past, because I'm not in your past, I'm in your future. And it's like, the more you're in your past, the more you delay me coming in. So this person is saying, like, some of you are, like, spiritually destitute and out of alignment, and this, like, person is saying, like, please heal yourself, please allow this healing to take place, and, like, to be comfortable with yourself, to be comfortable with your shadow, but embrace your light, you know? And this is saying, like, there is something, like, I'm seeing someone, like, look up to the sky and be like, I am so hopeful again. There is something so great that I've been looking forward to. So yes, like, new opportunities that are going to unlock themselves for you. And there's just so much hope, you know, and just, like, new opportunity to build. And I'm seeing, like, someone take, like, a layer of, like, brick and mortar. And, like, some of you who are having, like, this new individual, this, like, spouse, this, like, one, you know what I mean? The one that, like, comes into your life after all this BS. And they're coming in. And they're, like, building you a house, like your dream house. I'm not joking. They're building you something, like a foundation, so you can, like, pull your blueprints out and be like, I want this. And they're designing. I'm not joking. They're designing something for you that you've wanted. So, like, they're building with you. You know, there's this collaborative force, you know, and this, like, happiness. You know what I mean? And this person is literally saying, like, let go of the past because I'm not there. Like, you know, I'm going to blow everything out the water. You'll never know. So this person is coming out from a long time of just feeling like they're just dead inside. And, you know, they're coming out and they're like social butterflies. And so they're like, I'm not deceptive. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not, you know, I'm like the man of your dreams, or I'm the woman of your dreams. And, you know, like, they're like, you know, when people say like, oh, it's too good to be true, they'll be like, I'm literally the embodiment of everything that you've ever wanted. Like, you're perfect, like, person. I'm this person, and I'm here to like protect you. I'm here to love you. I'm here to help you grow. I'm here to, you know, watch over you. I'm here to do this, you know. I'm here to build with you. I'm here to offer you this divine friendship, you know. And this person is like, oh, you know, it's like finally someone gets it. Like, someone has actually spoken this. Someone has like brought this to my attention, but this person is like challenging your belief system. They're basically challenging anything that doesn't work for you, and they're gonna like completely flip this 180, 360, whatever, and they're gonna show you something way better. So this person is deeply in touch with themselves, like masculinely. So it's like, just because, you know, you can't see them doesn't mean they're there. But they've made this decision. They're like, I'm going to do this. Like, that's literally what I'm saying is they're doing the damn thing, and they want you to, like, build with me. And I'm saying someone like this, like, here, like, let me give you a hand up. Not a hand out, like, give you a hand up. And they're, like, picking, you know, this person back up and, like, standing, you know, them up on this, like, firm, like, step, and to be like, come with me. And they're just, like, walking up, you know, a stairway, like, just a long stairway that has, like, you know, I can't see the top, you know, because it's not for me to say. So this is saying, like, they're in their head, and they're just, like, they're dreaming of you. They're dreaming and manifesting you. And this is saying they've ascended, and they're waiting for you to do the same. They're just, like, they're calling you. You know, they're putting the energy out there, and they're like, boom, I'm awake. Here's this. So they're saying that they have this strength, and they're waiting. You know what I mean? They're going to use this strength, and like at all costs. And they're like, boom, you know, with this, the 10 of Pentacles, they're like, I see you. I see you, and I'm watching you, and I'm watching us, and, you know, I'm manifesting this, and I'm looking out for you, and I'm looking out for us, and, you know, let's do it. Let's build so we can, you know, enjoy the fruits of our labor, you know, when we're 80, you know? So they're like, you know, they're coming out of a long, hard place, you know, in their life with you, you know, with you awakening. They're just like, everything makes sense now. Like, they see in a clearer manner. So they're tending to themselves, they're tending to their garden, they're tending to their fruits, you know? And that's literally what I'm saying is, like, they're tending to themselves, and, you know, and I'm hearing I'm picky. So it's like, if I pick you, like, just know that you marked every tick in my box on my list. And that's literally what I'm hearing is, like, someone going over the list and be like, no. I don't like this. I don't like that. And to be like, then they see you and they be like, yes, 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 yes. You know, and I'm literally saying like someone swiping on Tinder or something, like swipe left, no, boom, yes, yes. And just be like, boom, you know, waiting for you to make that move, you know. They found you. Now they're waiting for you to just basically, like, you know, have the courage. Literally have the courage. So I'm just gonna like do the rest of the deck because they're just like, boom, you know, this is a long video. So they're like, there's praise, there's celebration, there's just like, there's so much to be thankful for, and, you know, everything is like, the sky is blue, there's not a cloud in sight, they're all this, and they're saying that their blessings is coming from like somewhere, but they need you to basically unblock yourself so they can, you know, give you this blessing and let them be, you know, your blessing while you're, you know, they know you're their blessing. So it's like they want you to unblock that and let that flow. And some of you are just like, don't rush into this. Don't rush into love. Like, take your time, take your baby steps, you know? And this is saying, like, leave the manipulations behind because this is not going to fly with this person or, you know, this situation. And this is saying, like, you're planting your seeds for tomorrow. So just keep doing it, you know? And it's like, don't be afraid to walk away. And this is saying with your feminine, like, get in touch with your feminine and really, like, allow your feminine to be unblocked so you receive this, you know, this blessing. So this is saying there's expansion. Through heartbreak, there has been so much expansion in your heart and, you know, your soul's heart. And this is, like, removing all this trauma that's coming out. And this is saying, count your blessings. Count that this heartbreak or this situation removed itself from your presence because it was no longer there anymore. You are no longer this person that you were in the past. So this is saying the past is removing itself, you know, from your heart, and your heart is maturing enough to expand and to allow even more love of whatever to come in. And it's like, are you? So it's like you're balancing, you know, your souls, you know, the polarities and stuff. So this is saying like the masculine has, you know, to surrender, you know, to the healing and to protect, you know, this protection and this need to protect, when it's like, no, you don't need to protect anymore. So this is saying like, you don't have to, your masculine does not have to be your shield. You know what I mean? Because it's too much aggression and they're just worn out. And this feminine is saying, I need to come through. You know what I mean? I need to soften you up. Like, I need to soften up your defenses because you're just constantly creating conflict. And it's just like, I'm suffering and I need to come out so we can be equal, you know? So the Queen of Pentacles is saying, you know, I'm confident about this and I know what I need to do. So it's like, I gotta get it done. I'm doing it. You know what I mean? And it's like they're working on themselves and they're working on this project. And this is saying, don't be afraid to seek collaboration. You know what I mean? Because one person will know something and the next will know something else. And it basically jogs an idea to be like, here's my inner intuition with this Empress, because she's very intuitive, you know, and the Hierophant is very masculine. So both the Empress, the Hierophant, so all of these cards have presented themselves. So the Divine Masculine is out of balance and the Feminine is trying to come out and balance, you know, the both, you know what I mean? To temper the both, you know, and stop the aggression from like projecting onto the next, you know what I mean? The Empress is actually nurturing, you know what I mean? They're nurturing these wounds. And, you know, I'm seeing someone like give a healing hand on the back, you know what I mean? And like raising this individual up. You know, so there's expansion going on in the heart space, in the mind, you know, in the soul, like energy. So there's just so much expansion going on that is happening. So we have self-respect. Dear God, angels, thank you for helping me see myself as you see me through the eyes of love. Thank you for honoring and respecting me. Please guide me to do the same for myself and grant me the courage to speak up on my own behalf. I ask you for your protection in all my relationships so I surround myself with loving, kind people. The person that you were asking about is trustworthy. So if you're like, who is this person? But this is saying like your intuition is trustworthy as well. It says, thank you for helping me have faith so I can open my heart to wider in relationships. I am grateful for your protection, ensuring that I am trustworthy people and trustworthy people are in my life. Lean on God and the angels for support. Dear God and angels, I give you this situation now and completely. I step out of the way. Allow your divine miracles to shine through me. Spend more time outdoors. So this is like grounding yourself out, your solar energy. It says honor and trust yourself. So this is like honor your intuition, honor your feminine, honor your masculine. It's time to leave this unhealthy situation. So some of you are just getting over this like toxic relationship, or you're coming out of, you know, the shadow work, or, you know, some of you that have had these traumatic experiences growing up, like it's time to shift that mindset. So this is saying, you know, whatever situation you find yourself in, it's time to leave. It's time to, you know, to walk away. Archangel Michael, what parts of me in my life do I need to focus on clearly right now? Thank you for helping me hear your answers and giving me the courage to make healthy changes. You and your loved ones are safe. Dear God, Archangel Michael, thank you for watching over me and my loved ones. Please help me feel secure and at peace. Fill me with faith that I may focus my priorities and enjoy a healthy life. Your children are watched over. Dear guardian angels of my children, born and unborn, thank you for watching over my children, ensuring their happiness and safety. Please guide me so that I know the best ways to be a good parent and role model for my own and other people's children. Forgive yourself, you've done nothing wrong. And then we have confidence. I ask you to help me please let go of self-blame and forgive myself. Please guide me in releasing any toxic anger towards others and fear. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for allowing me to feel centered in peace. Have confidence. Archangel Michael, please lend me your courage and fortitude. Please help me realize that I am one with all divine wisdom, strength, love, and creativity, abundance, and health. Allow me to feel confident about and peaceful about myself. So I have these. So I'm going to shuffle, pull the first deck card out of this deck. And that's where you currently are. Shuffle again. I will pull the 10th, and then shuffle, and then finally pull the bottom card. And this will show me, or show you, what obstacles you are facing, how to get over it, and where you need to go, and then how to basically navigate what you are going through. So, the Exile, the Forsaken Soldier. So some of you are just like fighting, you know what I mean? You're fighting this invisible force, and you know what I mean? It's like it's been long over for so long that you got to keep fighting because that's all you know. You know what I mean? And it's just like, this is like finding, you know, this trauma, you know what I mean? You keep fighting this invisible force and you don't need to fight it anymore. This is saying surrender that, because it's just like, when you keep fighting, you just open yourself up even more to the toxic environments around you, and you attract this negative, and it's just not healing. And it's like, the reason you keep fighting is because it's like you don't feel whole, you know what I mean? It's an instinct. It's just like boom, boom, boom. So you have the Exile. And then you have Lilith, and Lilith is all about sucking, you know, it's like sucking you dry. You know, it's like you're being fed on. And that's exactly what is happening. It's like this instinct is just keep feeding, and I'm hearing parasite. So some of you, when you're going through this, you need to make sure you cast out any energy that has channeled you, that has been just constant, you know, source of this anxiety, this fear, whatever, this emotion, and go. And another thing is like your emotions are just all over the place. And this is saying like things are at work in the shadow work that is not it keeps feeding. So it's like this parasite and this situation, these people, this toxic, it keeps breaking you down even more to keep you trapped. And that's literally what I'm hearing. So all these like negative emotions that you feel towards people, like suspicion, to be like, oh, this person, like they want me. They want something from me. And this is literally what that is you are so freaking trapped in your head and in the situation that like that's everything, that's all you know. And this is saying like when you clean out your aura field, make sure that you stop channeling and you need to go deep within. You know what I mean? And what I learned, you know, when I had basically returned to my crystal body, there was like mold and rot in it. And they kept telling me like negative thinking and negative situations with the channeling, you basically, when you don't clean yourself out like all the way, this energy, you just keep channeling this energy that's just brought in. So no matter how many times you properly clean yourself, until you actually clean out the center, like this battery, it will project this negative energy. So you need to actually get and cut down to the source of this, like actually specific source. And so how do you go about this? And the bottom is to stop saying everything's fine. So it's like reclaim actually who you are and show that. So the Lady of Masks is like basically everything that you use to basically keep the world at it. And this is saying you've believed in this mask for so long. This has become your identity. It's something, and you know, it's just like how you appear to, you know, others and how you appear to yourself is not the truth. So this is saying to get to the bottom of this, you have to remember exactly who and what you are and what you want. And you have to be super specific. So these came out as well. So we have Morgan Le Fay, the Witch of Ages. So this is saying you have growth. And this is saying instead of making amends with the atonement, it's like stop making amends with other people and start with yourself. Forgive yourself. I'm literally hearing there's just so much, especially with the Lady of the Mask, because it's like you wear a mask. This is saying there's so much deceit and you believe that. And this is saying stop being deceitful and start actually showing your truth. It says poet of Avalon, fame, stagnation, pride. So this is saying like your ego is in the way. You know what I mean? Your ego is just working you and just be like, you can't do this, you can't do this. And it's just like you are so stuck in what other people are doing that you're just like, oh, I don't have to do this. I don't have to. So this is saying be compassionate, allow this, and this goes back to the Empress. It's like, love yourself. You know what I mean? Love yourself. We have Nyx, the goddess, or whatever. Anyways, the goddess, but it says enchantress of night. And it says secret, subterfuge, vigilance. So this is saying, like, when you're going through and you're cleaning yourself up, make sure that you are protected and you cast this cloak of protection around you, this energy, you know? And it's just like, don't let anybody, you know, into, you know, your life or your aura or just anywhere, you know what I mean? Like, not all spirits are there for your good, you know what I mean? They're an etheric being of high intelligence, you know? The Prince, the forgotten adversary, sorrow, lost value, serendipity. So this is saying, like, there is something in you that's been wanting to come out that you've wanted to get rid of. And this is saying, like, this ego and this adversary that you've created for yourself, like, you've blamed others, you know what I mean? Or you've blamed yourself for so long, that's all you know is blame. So it's like the shepherd. It says just rewards, evaluation, respite. The Morgan, the weaver of fate, anti-apathy, introspection, and opposition. So this is saying, like, whatever you do will create a ripple, and things will happen in this instant if you choose to open yourself up. We have the matriarch of the homestead, rejection, opportunities, consequences. And this is saying you've made something when a door closed on you and you made some for yourself that was completely different. You made, when people said, oh, you can't do this, you proved them wrong and you proved yourself right, that you knew you could do this. So there are opportunities for you with closing of doors. And so you make and open your own doors, okay? And it says the radiant Lord, wisdom, paternalism, kindness. So this is going back to the masculine. And the masculine wants you to know that it's protection. It's intuition with the Hierophant. It's kindness. And this is saying balance, you know, because you have light and dark. You know, you have, like I said, you have the Lord of Light and then you have the Queen of Shadows. Yeah, so this is saying there's a balance of both that needs to happen with the masculine and the feminine within your soul. You have to balance yourself and you have to get rid of everything that no longer serves you. This was a long video. This is fun. Thank you, guides. Thank you for working with other guides. Thank you so much. I hope that all of this, if it resonates with you, if it doesn't, then leave it and put it in the trash and just move on. But I hope that a part of this reading could actually resonate with you. So thank you so much.